The Honor 10 Lite is here. As the name suggests, this is the updated version of the Honor 9 Lite that brings in quite a lot of improvements and on paper at least seems to be a great offering. This is Sandeep from RevAtlas. Let's see how it fares. The Honor 9 Lite was a good looking smartphone and perhaps one that managed to have a compact form factor with a good feature set. The 10 Lite builds on that platform and is still a very attractive handset. What's different now is that Honor has added traits from the industry trends that happened through the course of 2018. This includes a smaller notch as well as a fancier paint job, including a gradient finish. There was a 9N in between which added a notch to the 9 Lite, but that notch isn't as small as the one on the 10 Lite. The 10 Lite has what Honor is calling a dewdrop notch, which has rounded edges. It's possible to turn off the notch completely or leave it on and customize apps which can and which can't use the extra area. The display has become bigger by a large amount in fact. The 9 Lite has a 5.65 inch screen, but this has a 6.21 inch screen with an aspect ratio of 19.5:9 and 2340 by 1080 pixels of resolution. It's a very good display. The sharpness is great, viewing angles are good, and the rounded corners go well with the design of the smartphone as well. The display has good brightness and sunlight legibility as well. There's no branded scratch protection, which is probably why they pre-fit a screen protector on the phone. Apart from the chin, the bezels are minimal all around and even the chin isn't too thick. The notch isn't as intrusive as the traditional ones and it didn't really affect our video experience either. Sadly, there's no support for L1 wideband, which means that HD streaming, say over Netflix and Prime, isn't supported. There's an LED notification light on the chin below the display which is offset towards the left, which isn't where you would expect it, but considering the size of the notch, we guess they couldn't actually put it there. The build quality is top notch. The phone feels really well built and put together, and it looks the part too. It doesn't use metal in its construction but rather plastic that's designed to look like metal, but it doesn't feel bad to use. Despite the larger footprint and thicker waistline, it's still a very manageable device. Perhaps we have grown accustomed to the increase in phone sizes over the years, but this definitely doesn't feel like you're holding a device over 6 inches in terms of display size. The increased thickness is due to a larger 3400 mAh battery capacity, and that's a welcome change. The 9 Lite had pretty average battery life, and we're happy to say that this has largely been overcome in this one. We got around 7 to 8 hours of screen on time on most days. Unfortunately, there is no fast charging and the bundle charger is a 5V 2A 10W charger that charges the phone over micro USB. The phone is powered by a Kirin 710 octa-core chipset and it comes in 4 and 6GB LPDDR4X variants with 64GB of storage, and there's EMUI 9 with Android 9 Pie preloaded. The phone has a hybrid dual SIM card slot that supports cards up to 512GB in capacity. In terms of performance, the phone was pretty fluid and we had no issues when it comes to gaming as well, although it may not fare as well as some other Qualcomm powered devices when it comes to gaming. There's an always active fingerprint scanner mounted at the rear. Its placement is bang on and is very accurate too, but there's latency involved in actually waking up and unlocking the device. It's fast to detect and recognize the fingerprint, but the unlock animation and waking up screen takes some time. Hopefully it'll get faster with updates. The same applies to face unlock too. It's quite accurate and easy to set up as well. Just requires capturing a photo of your face. Once done, it detects easily and you can have the face unlock, fingerprint as well as an alternate unlock method all active at the same time. The speaker is a bottom firing mono setup. It gets pretty loud in terms of volume output, but the clarity isn't too great. As for wired audio, luckily there's still an audio jack on board and the quality is great too. There's good volume output with good dynamic range as well as nice bass. It's also able to drive headphones with a higher power rating pretty well. There's no quad camera setup like the 9 Lite, but then again, as Pixel phones have shown us, it's the way you use the cameras that matter. A combination of hardware and software basically. At the back there's a 13MP f1.8 sensor with 2MP depth sensor. AI makes its way onto the rear camera as well as the front facing 24MP f2 aperture camera, and we're working on our detailed camera review, but here are some samples that'll give you an idea on what to expect. So far the results are very promising and the AI works well, especially for the front facing camera, and applies HDR as well automatically as these samples show. The Honor 10 Lite is therefore a pretty solid device. It's just as attractive if not more than its predecessors, packs in bigger and better display but is still compact, has a better battery life and better performance, and is a pretty good device overall. Stay tuned for a camera review which will follow shortly. Thanks for watching this video. See you again in the next one.